In a peaceful ancient Igbo kingdom called Asaba, there was a forest that no hunter dared to enter after sunset. The elders called it the Forest of Whispers. They said the forest belonged to the spirits. They said anyone who entered with a greedy heart would never return the same. But there was one young man who refused to believe the warnings. His name was Chinedu. Chinedu was a brave hunter. He was strong, intelligent, and respected by the people of Asaba. But he had one weakness. He wanted wealth. He wanted more land, more cattle, more gold, and more respect than any other young man in the kingdom. One evening, an old traveler arrived in the village. He carried a strange wooden staff covered with ancient carvings. The traveler told Chinedu about a hidden spirit shrine deep inside the forbidden forest. He claimed that beneath the shrine was a pot filled with gold. But there is a price, the old man warned. Chinedu laughed. What price could be greater than becoming the richest man in the kingdom? The old traveler looked into his eyes. The spirit world does not give without taking. But Chinedu had already made up his mind. That night, he took his hunting spear, a small leather bag, and the wooden charm he had inherited from his father. Then he entered the forest. The deeper he walked, the stranger everything became. The birds stopped singing. The wind became silent. Even the sound of his footsteps seemed to disappear. Then Chinedu heard a woman whisper his name. Chinedu. He turned around. Nobody was there. Again, the voice came. Chinedu. This time, the voice came from behind an ancient Iroko tree. Chinedu stepped closer. Suddenly, a woman appeared. She was dressed in white, with coral beads around her neck and mysterious markings painted across her face. Her eyes seemed to glow beneath the moonlight. I am Nnindi, she said. The guardian of this forest. Chinedu raised his spear. I have come for the gold. The spirit smiled. Then you have come for the wrong reason. She pointed toward a stone shrine. Take the gold, and you will become wealthy. But remember this. Every treasure taken from the spirit world demands a sacrifice. Chinedu ignored her warning. He entered the shrine and found a large clay pot filled with shining gold. His heart raced. He grabbed the gold. At that exact moment, the forest came alive. Trees shook violently. The ground trembled. And hundreds of voices cried out from the darkness. Greedy one. Chinedu tried to run. But the path had disappeared. Then he heard another voice. It was his father's voice. My son, wealth without wisdom will destroy you. Chinedu froze. He suddenly understood. The gold was not a blessing. It was a test. He dropped the treasure. I am sorry, he cried. But the spirit appeared again. You cannot simply say sorry. Someone must pay the price. Before Chinedu could respond, he saw a young village boy standing near the shrine. It was Ngozi, his younger brother. The boy had followed him into the forest. A dark shadow moved toward Ngozi. Chinedu immediately stood between them. Take me instead. The spirit stopped. For the first time, her expression changed. You were willing to sacrifice another person for gold, she said. But now you are willing to sacrifice yourself for someone you love. The forest became silent. The spirit lifted her hand. The darkness disappeared. Your sacrifice has broken the curse. The gold vanished. The path home returned. At sunrise, Chinedu and Ngozi walked back into Asaba. Chinedu returned without gold. But he returned with something far more valuable. Wisdom. From that day forward, he became one of the kingdom's most respected hunters. He used his strength to protect the weak. He shared what he had with the poor. And whenever young men spoke about wealth, Chinedu always told them the same story. The spirit world has secrets that the living may never understand. But one secret is known by everyone who survives greed. What you gain through selfishness can become the very thing that destroys you. And sometimes, the greatest treasure is not gold. It is the courage to let it go. And that was how Chinedu learned that greed has consequences, courage demands sacrifice, and even in the darkest forest, hope can still find a way home.